Before the world knew her name, before the stadium lights, the awards, and the headlines, there was a little girl standing backstage at a tiny Texas theater watching her mother perform. She didn't understand every word of the play, but she understood one thing clearly. The stage felt like home. Years later, in a moment she rarely talks about, Selena Gomez would say that everything she became, every role she played, every song she ever wrote can be traced back to that night when a quiet child realized she wanted to turn her pain into art. But the world didn't know the truth. Behind the smiles and Disney stardom was a journey built on uncertainty, sacrifice, and a single belief that she could create a life bigger than the one she was born into. What this story reveals, this is not just a story of a celebrity. It's the story of someone who rose from a small Texas town, fought through challenges few ever saw, reinvented herself again and again, and transformed into one of the most influential artists of her generation. And today, you'll discover the rare behind-the-scenes moments that shaped her journey. From childhood struggles to unexpected breakthroughs, personal reinvention, and the life-changing revelation that still guides her. Selena Marie Gomez, early life. Selena Marie Gomez was born on July 22, 1992 in Grand Prairie, Texas. Her mother, Mandy, had Selena when she was just 16, an age where most teenagers are planning their future, not raising a child. Life wasn't glamorous. Money was tight, the apartments were small, and the future was uncertain. But little Selena found magic where others might have seen struggle. When her mom performed in small community theater shows, Selena would sit in the empty seats, mesmerized by the lights, the costumes, and the raw emotion of storytelling. She later admitted that she didn't fall in love with fame. She fell in love with feeling something deeply. There's a moment few fans know about. A casting call for a children's TV show that Selena attended at just 7 years old. She walked in with no experience, surrounded by confident kids who had agents and polished resumes. And yet, something about her, the warmth in her voice, the spark in her eyes, made the producers take a chance on her. That show was Barney and Friends, and it became the first door that opened. But after 2 seasons, the door closed. She was let go. Too tall, they said, too mature for the role. For most kids, that would have been the end. For Selena, it was the beginning of a fight she didn't even realize she was preparing for. The rise. Selena Gomez's audition after audition, rejection after rejection. Selena and her mother drove across Texas, spending hours in waiting rooms that led nowhere. But every no built a thicker layer of determination. Then, in a twist of fate, Disney called. They didn't want her for a lead role, not yet. They cast her in small guest spots, testing her, watching her, observing how she handled pressure. Behind the scenes, Disney executives noted something rare. Selena could take a comedic scene and give it heart. She had the timing, but also the emotion. And then came the role that changed everything. Alex Russo in Wizards of Waverly Place. But what people didn't know was that Selena didn't believe she would get it. She walked into the audition room convinced she was too nervous, too inexperienced, too unknown. Instead, she walked out as the future face of a hit series. The show was an instant success, but the pressure was enormous. At just 15, Selena was asked to carry a franchise, lead a cast, balance a recording contract, and live inside an image that millions of young fans watch closely. And still, she delivered. Every episode, every interview, every performance. But privately, the rapid fame came with it, a constant feeling that she had to be perfect. The transformation. As she entered her 20s, Selena made a decision very few Disney stars dared to make. She wanted to break free from being just another former child actress. She wanted to become a serious musician, an authentic actress, and a storyteller with real depth. But reinvention came with risk. Her early music career brought mixed reactions. Some critics doubted she could sing. Others dismissed her as another teen star trying to stay relevant. What those critics didn't know was that Selena had been writing lyrics late at night, crafting melodies, and pushing herself to find her own voice, not the one the industry expected from her. Then came a major turning point. Her album, Revival, wasn't just a musical shift, it was a statement, a declaration that she was no longer performing for approval. She was performing for truth. Songs like Good For You and Same Old Love showed a mature, confident self. Fans didn't just listen. They connected with her honesty, her vulnerability, and her evolution. Throughout this journey, she formed deep friendships and partnerships that strengthened her career. One of the most impactful was her long professional relationship with a team at Interscope Records, who encouraged her to express her authentic self. But perhaps the biggest transformation wasn't professional at all. It was personal. The decision to prioritize her mental and emotional well-being, to step back when needed, to return when ready, and to use her platform to help others do the same. The impact: Selena Gomez is more than an artist. She's a global force. Her music has earned multi-platinum certifications. Her acting roles have expanded into critically praised projects. She became one of the youngest executive producers in television through 13 Reasons Why, proving she could shape stories behind the camera as powerfully as she does on screen. But one of her most overlooked contributions is her philanthropy. From UNICEF ambassador work, starting at just 17, to mental health advocacy, charity concerts, and founding her own production company, Selena has consistently used her influence to uplift others. Her brand, Rare Beauty, became a cultural phenomenon, not just for cosmetics, but for its groundbreaking initiative, the Rare Impact Fund. Dedicated to mental health resources around the world, her impact is not measured only in awards and records, but in the millions of young people who say she made them feel seen. The most inspirational revelation: there is one revelation Selena shared that changed everything for her fans. She said, "I finally realized that I don't need to be the best at everything. I just need to be the best version of myself." It wasn't about perfection. It wasn't about proving her critics wrong. It was about choosing herself, her peace, her purpose, her truth. And in that moment, she stopped being. Conclusion: Selena Gomez's story is not the story of a girl who had everything handed to her. It's the story of someone who turned fear into fuel, pain into purpose, and a small-town dream into a global legacy. From a tiny Texas theater to the world stage, she proved that you don't need to be born into greatness. You can grow into it. And maybe that's the real magic of Selena Gomez. Not her fame, not her success, but the reminder that even the quietest voices can become the ones the world remembers forever. If you enjoyed this documentary-style journey into Selena Gomez's life, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe for more powerful celebrity biographies and stories that inspire millions. Drop a comment telling us which icon's life story you want to see next. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next viral documentary.